Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. As I said before, today we are going to be reviewing the Moza R9 wheelbase along with the Moza RS V2 wheel. Alright, so as you can see, we're not on a normal track and we're not in a normal car. Today, I'm going to be trying, giving it my all to figure out how to drive these Formula Drift cars. Since I started sim racing, I wanted to learn Formula Drift. I love watching it. It looks really cool and really fun, but I suck, and the wheel did not change that. So I guess to start this review off, let me just say it's not going to make you better at drifting. Without further ado, let's give this one shot, try to talk at the same time as much as I can. Okay, so it does have quite a bit of force feedback in the wheel. I am currently using the wall. I'm using the wall to ride through that turn. I'm currently using the settings that it just kind of... That went bad fast. I am currently using the settings that it just comes with. It has preset settings. I'm using the preset for drifting instead of my own setting. As I showed in the last video, I don't want to be redundant, but you can make your own settings in the software. And I haven't figured out enough of the settings yet. I know I said I would try, but I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot to go through. So I haven't had a chance to quite figure everything out yet, but we're gonna keep using that wall to get through that turn. I did learn that it is very hard to do this and talk at the same time. I did learn somewhat how to drift on this steering wheel, a little better than the last video. In a normal car, I got quite a bit better. It's hard to explain, but it just kind of clicked for me. Like, at one point I was trying and I kept failing, and then it was like it clicked and it was like, oh, that's how we do it. Okay. And I'm hoping that it will do the same in here with this Formula Drift car. The car itself is the VDC Corvette C7. I feel like, I know this isn't like a normal type of car that I would drive. I drive a lot of JDM cars in this game. I feel like those are fun for everyday. I gotta reset. I feel like those are more fun for just messing around in like a lobby or on your own. But this, I feel like, is more of a Formula Drift car, you know? It's a Corvette, and when you think Corvette, you think power. So, I feel like this is a little more appropriate for Formula Drift. Man, that turn just does not like me. I like the gas pedal. Okay, I love the gas pedal. I just wish it had a little more force behind it, and I know you can change that, but I think a better or stronger spring would be a little better for me. Barely made that turn. However, it is about the same feel as the gas pedal in my real car. Honestly, the gas pedal in my normal car is very light. I drive a newer Jetta. It feels kind of natural, but I just feel like in some of these more powerful cars in real life, they would have a stronger gas pedal. But I've also never I've never drove an actual race car. So correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Maybe they do have light pedals. It is very possible that I have no clue what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Another one of the pedals that is the spring on the clutch pedal. Although I don't think it's the stiffness that does it for me, it's the fact that you just can't recreate the mechanical feeling of a real clutch unless you have a real clutch. It also might just be that it's because these pedals, quite as like say nice as, or perfected, I guess. They aren't quite as perfected as Fanatec's. That turn is so hard. I want to hit the clipping zone. I don't hit the clipping zone anywhere else on this map, so if I can do it there, that would be nice. The brake pedal, on the other hand, just feels all way too stiff. So the gas pedal is loose and the clutch pedal is loose, but the brake pedal is like insanely stiff, which it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's not too terrible, in my opinion at least. I will say that they are a huge step up from, oh, I hit the clipping zone, from the Logitech pedals, however. The Logitech pedals were like cheap toys compared to these, which is why I still like them, even with the small problems I have with them. Now, talking about the steering wheel, I'm not gonna lie, again, I drive a 2019 Jetta. The steering wheel is way better than my actual car's steering wheel, just in the way it feels in your hands. We're gonna ride the wall ride. I know that you pay for premium with the RS V2 steering wheel from Moza, but I still just did not expect it to be this nice. You're not supposed to hit the cones. They don't move in the game. I love the steering wheel. Is honestly the best part of the purchase. The steering wheel is honestly my favorite part of all of it. It feels very high quality. It doesn't feel at all like plasticky. It feels like what you would really find in a real car. And the force feedback on it, again, is like, you can make it as realistic as you want it. If you want it to feel more like a game, you can make it feel like that. If you want it to feel 100% real life, you can make it feel like that too. Again, I'm just using the basic drift settings that they have built into the software because honestly, I've just been playing and not worried about changing it yet. I can live with it considering it's way better than the Logitech ever was. And I don't mean to like dog on them. Logitech is not a bad brand by any means. It's not the same quality. I mean, hey, that time I made it through the entire track, which is a huge plus. Before, in the last video, I had mentioned that the steering wheel has the LEDs on it. I like that addition, just not so much for drifting. It's not that like they get in the way or anything, like they're annoying. It's just like I don't use them for drifting because I know what gear I'm in. Like I'm in third gear and I'm gonna stay in third gear for this entire wall. I'm gonna stay in third gear. I don't need to know when to shift. However, when I'm playing a game like, I recently downloaded NASCAR Heat 5, when I'm playing that, then the steering wheel lights come in very handy because I don't like staring at the screen. Excuse me, obviously I'm looking at the screen when I'm playing. I don't like looking at the dash on the screen because it's difficult, I guess, for me. Made it through that turn. I think I forgot to drift that one. I think I didn't quite get the entire clipping zone, which again, I'm more so just trying to make the car stay on the pavement. All in all, there's not much I would change about the steering wheel. There's not very many complaints that I have. As I said before, most of my complaints are in the pedals, which is to be expected because unless you have like a hydraulic brake or an electronic gas pedal, it's never going to feel like real life. because that's what you get in real life. And it's the same with, like I said, the clutch. Unless you're actually changing a gear in a transmission, it's not going to feel like you're changing a gear in a transmission. And I could be wrong, but I also don't want to spend $1,000 on one pedal. One thing I have noticed with this setup that the Logitech did not do is switching from online to private match games. The force feedback feels different. It's like slightly looser in private match, and I don't know if I'm crazy or if that's actually happening, but I swear to you, it feels like slightly looser. Oh, I thought I could maybe reverse entry. I swear it feels slightly looser whenever I switch between online to private match. Because before this, where I got this video idea, I was just playing a map, one of the VDC practice maps, getting in people's way, as you do, and I was just having fun with it, and it felt very tight, the steering. Then I hopped into the private match to record, and it just like loosened up out of nowhere. I swear, at least it really feels like it. It's still not bad, if that makes any sense. You can just feel that there's a difference. I find that with this steering wheel, I have a lot more precision when I play. I know I had mentioned before that with the Logitech steering wheel, it felt kind of just blocky almost, like clunky, very clunky. With this steering wheel, I feel like everything I make, every movement I make on it is precise. In the car, maybe it's just like the USB connectors, or I'm not sure, but the car in game responds better to every movement I make of the steering wheel. I can more fine-tune how I'm drifting, I guess, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to try some VDC Virtual Drift Championship drifting. Because on the Logitech steering wheel, I was able to do it, but like struggle. Even after I had figured out like how it worked on that wheel, I was still struggling through every lap, and I could only semi-consistently hit clipping point. And I'm sure, like I know that there are people that can do it just fine. I'm saying I'm not one of them. Not on a Logitech. On this one, it's been what, 10 minutes? And 15 minutes before I started recording, and I already did a lap where I hit a few clipping zones. I guess what I would say, the best way that I could sum up this steering wheel, if you are deciding on if you should buy it, is do you plan on making this something that you spend, you come home from work and you're going to be down to play and you want to play on the weekends? Or is this something that you might do once or twice a month? Because if you plan on playing this a lot, then I 100% recommend buying Moza or just a direct drive steering wheel in general, as much as your budget will allow for. And I recommend doing that from the get-go so that you don't have to try and resell your old steering wheel on Facebook or eBay or wherever. However, if you do plan on just playing this every so often, like, once or twice a month, just a small little hobby of yours, then I would recommend probably buying like a Logitech or a Thrustmaster over Logitech even. Because it's not really worth spending as much as direct drives cost. Even Moza, like it's not cheap. It's a good chunk of change. I would highly recommend just buying a belt-driven or dual motor wheel. And with that, I believe I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope it was entertaining watching me do that over and over again. Before I sign off, I'm going to try to get a good lap. You won't be watching my fails, but I will try a good, decent lap on this map for you. that is about as good as I'm going to be able to do without practicing for a lot of hours. So thank you for coming to today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I had an amazing time making this for you guys. I hope you guys had an amazing time watching it as well. Peace.